Hello students, my name is Deepika Reddy. I'm from Shikara Academy, Hyderabad. Now this particular video, I intend to explain you about the types of majorities that are used in our constitution. Basically, if you have noticed, all decisions in our country are taken by the legislature. And the legislature is not one person but a group of people. Now this group of people, how does it make its decisions? It has to make all its decisions through voting. What are the different types of voting that are used in our country? What are the different types of voting that are provided for by our constitution, and for what purpose do we use these votings? This is what I'm going to explain in this video. So let me begin with explaining that, see, government organs, we have three organs of government: the executive, the legislature and the judiciary, out of which the legislative organ is the one which makes decisions. Decision making is the power of the legislature. Now what all will come under decision making? This decision making can be with respect to a law or a policy, or removing somebody from office. All these decisions are made by the legislature. But as I said, legislature is not one person, it is a group of people. And whenever you want this group of people to arrive at a conclusion, to arrive at a decision, then you need this group of people to vote. However, if you notice, imagine 100 people are voting and I want to divide this 100 into majority minority. The minimum majority that I require is 51. Otherwise 60 is also a majority, 75 is also a majority, 66 is also a majority, 80 is also a majority. Anything above 51 is also a majority. Now we are going to discuss for what are we going to use 51. 51 for us here indicates the lowest majority. For what procedures do we use lowest majority? For what procedures do we use majorities greater than 51? 51 greater than 51, what majorities do we use and for what purposes? This is what we are going to discuss in this video. My interaction with many students, a lot of you are not clear about the types of majorities, so that was the reason why I am making this video. Now the majorities, we are going to first categorize them into 4 types. Let me first explain the different types of majorities. The first one is called as a simple majority. The second is called as effective majority. Okay, the third is called as absolute majority. The fourth is called as special majority. Now the first point you have to remember is, please remember these terms not mentioned in the constitution. Terms not mentioned in the constitution. Nowhere will you find in the constitution the word simple, effective, absolute or special majority. Then what is written in the constitution? In the constitution it is denoted as majority of present and voting. Here we say majority of the, this word is very important, then members of the house. Okay, and when it comes to absolute majority, we say it as majority of the total strength of the house. And then any majority which is not simple, effective, absolute is special majority. In India, the special majority will be 2/3. But 2/3 of what will be determined by the provision. I will explain special majority a little later. First, let's finish off with simple, effective, absolute. Now, let me tell you where we use all these majorities. Any decision taken by a simple majority by Parliament, if it is if it is converted into a law, then we call it as ordinary law. In general terms, we call it as ordinary law. In legal terms, we call it as a statute. Ordinary law and statute are the same. So any decision taken by the Parliament through a simple majority turns out to be a statute. Effective majority is used only for removal of Speaker, Deputy Speaker of Lok Sabha, State Legislative Assembly. Okay, Chairman, Deputy Chairman of Rajya Sabha, State Legislative Council. For this we use effective majority. Absolute majority is used for forming government in India, meaning you have to get this number if you want to come to power, if you want to form the government. This is the majority that is required. During elections, if you notice, there will be one small number that is often popping on the screen, the news channels and others, when they show the number that is required to form the government. That number is called as absolute majority. Now let's understand these things with an example. Imagine we have total strength. We all know that the total strength of Lok Sabha is 545, out of which we have 5 vacancies. Okay, so it is 540 is the current strength, the then strength of the house. Out of 540, imagine on a given day only 520 are present, out of which only 500 participated in voting. Okay, so 520 present, 500 participated in voting. The total strength is 500 and the total strength then minus vacancies is 540. Now, how do you calculate when you have such statistics? For simple majority, it is. You'll also notice that there will be an increase for every majority, so this will give you more clarity. You have to. The formula is present plus voting divided by 2 plus 1. Please remember, present plus voting does not mean that you're going to add both of them and take 1020. It is those people who voted out of the ones who attended. So, we are going to take present plus voting as 500, not 520. 500 divided by 2 plus 1 is equals to 251. You need to get 251 votes to pass something with a simple majority. This is the statistics. Now, what is effective majority? Effective majority, please remember there is a small correction. This is given as special majority in Lakshmikant, which is not correct. For your reference, I will ask you to refer to the articles that deal with removal of Speaker, Deputy Speaker, Chairman, Deputy Chairman. Very clearly, it is mentioned majority of the then members of the House. This is very clearly mentioned in the Constitution. And the wordings that are used for special majority is different. So please don't get confused about this. Now, effective majority will be total strength minus vacancies divided by 2 plus 1, which is 545 minus 5 divided by 2 plus 1, nothing but 271. Okay, now what will be absolute majority? Absolute majority will be total strength divided by 2 plus 1, nothing but 545 divided by 2 plus 1, which is 273. Do you notice that as we move on, the majorities are increasing, 251, 271, 273. So this is how we calculate. And for every purpose, how do I know which majority I am going to use? Depending on the purpose. If I want to remove the Speaker of Lok Sabha, I'll use effective majority. If I want to make an ordinary law, I will use simple majority. So this is how you understand different types of majorities. Now this is one aspect. Let me explain types of special majorities now. As I said, in India, we use 3 types of special majorities, but as earlier mentioned, special majority is always 2 by 3rd. But 2 by 3rd of what will depend on the provision for which we are using. Meaning, we can use a 2 by 3rd present and voting or 2 by 3rd present and voting and this should be greater than or equal to absolute majority. Absolute majority is nothing but a majority of total strength of the House. In the Constitution, it will be written as 2/3 present and voting, not less than the majority of total strength of the House. Okay, and then 2/3 of total strength of the House. Okay, these are the three types of majorities, special majorities we use under our Constitution. Now, where do we use them? This is used for two purposes. One is under Article 249, where Rajya Sabha declares a subject in state list as subject of national importance. This is Article 249. Okay, then 312, Article 312, it is a resolution to approve. Rajya Sabha approves, in fact permits creation of a new All India service. Okay, this is where we use 2/3 present and voting. 2/3 present and voting greater than or equal to absolute majority is used in three purposes. One is 368, which deals with amendment to the Constitution. So this majority is required to amend the Constitution. Okay, then we also use this under 124 to remove, 124 and 217 to remove judges of Supreme Court and High Court. So anybody who is removed along with judges of Supreme Court and High Court, it is 124. Then the third thing that we have to understand, apart from these two, is 169, where you need a resolution approved by the State Legislative Assembly approves resolution for creation of resolution for creation or abolition of State Legislative Council. For these three purposes we use this, and this is used for only one purpose, that is impeachment of President. We do not use this for any other purpose, and please remember this is the highest majority required under the Constitution. So this is how we look at the three things. Now let me go back to our example and let us calculate the special majority for this example. Now how do we calculate special majority of 2/3 present and voting? Is nothing but 2/3 divided into 500, which is 2 into 167, okay, which is nothing but 334 roughly. This is what you need to approve it by 2/3 present and voting. Now do you notice that it is more than that? Now what happens in 2/3 present and voting is greater than or equal to absolute majority is, apart from ensuring that you get at least these many votes or more than this, you should also ensure that this 2/3 present and voting, which is 334, is at least greater than or equal to absolute majority is 273. Here this is fulfilled, the condition is fulfilled because 334 is greater than 273. So 2/3 present and voting should be greater than or equal to at least 273. See, this is like a two-way check. You are making the process of the process for which you are using this voting becomes more rigid, because it is a two-way step. Even if you have, see, to put it simple, I'll tell you, if 2/3 present and voting is less than 273, if it is anything beyond the 273, 272 and below, this is not approved. As simple as that. So here it is not just the number of people who are supporting the amendment or the procedure is not important. What is also important is this 2/3 present and voting calculation should be greater than 273. Okay, and 2/3 of the total strength of the house is nothing but 2/3 into 545 is equals to, this would roughly be around 363 or 364. This is the highest majority required in the constitution. Now I know many of you will not be clear about this, so before I wind off, I'll give an example for this also. 2/3 present and voting greater than or equal to absolute majority. Imagine on a given day, we take two scenarios where on a given day the number of people present and voting is just 300, and on a given day the number of people present and voting is about 500. Okay, now imagine in this 500, 350 people have said yes and 150 people have said no. In this 300, 270 people have said yes and 30 people have said no. Okay, now let's calculate. 2/3 present and voting is equals to 2/3 into 300, which is nothing but 200. Okay, whereas here 2/3 present and voting will be 2/3 into 500, roughly around 334. Okay, now the problem here is, in this case we want we want at least 200 people to say yes, but 270 people have said yes, which means 2/3 present and voting is passed. But we have a problem. The problem is 2/3 present and voting, the number itself should be greater than or equal to 273, but unfortunately 200 is less than 273. Therefore, this is not approved. See, please understand carefully. 2/3 present and voting alone, when I consider, I should get at least 200 people to say yes. Actually, 270 people said yes, but 200 is very less. It is much less than 273. Therefore, it cannot be approved. You need at least 273 is the benchmark. You need, when you calculate 2/3 present and voting, you should get at least 273. That is the reason why it is not approved. Now here, please look at it. At least 334 people should say yes. 350 people have said yes. So 334 is less than 350. Therefore, this stage it is approved. And 2/3 present and voting should be greater than or equal to absolute majority, which is 273. Okay, 2/3 present and voting is 334. This is greater than 273. Therefore, this is approved. This is passed. This is not passed. This is how you understand simple, special, effective, absolute majority. I hope this video gave you clarity on the types of majorities. This is very, very important to understand how Parliament works, and Constitution very clearly specifies which majority will be used for what purposes. Whenever you come across terms like resolution must be passed, unless mentioned, it is simple majority. Whenever you come across a term like ratification, it is simple majority. I hope this video was useful to you guys. Please follow the channel, because I'm going to upload a few more videos on various concepts, very small concepts in polity. In fact, if you have any specific concept that you're not clear, you just post it in the comment box saying that I want to know about this, and make a video and post on the same. Thank you for watching the video. Thank you.